you all for joining us today. And our guest presenter is Medina Akhmedova. And Medina is helping women to change their lives. She is a business owner in Dubai that is making a difference in the lives of women. She provides educational workshops for professionals that would like to start working from home with a zero investment. And she helps women to become a virtual assistants, professional virtual assistants, and social media managers. And she has launched several women in business. And so we count it a privilege to have her with us. She has her master's degree in psychology, and she also has a degree also related to marketing. And so we are so thankful to have her today with women supporting women in business. So I'm going to turn it over to her and allow her to share with us today. Thank you, Medina.
Thank you, Christine, for such a great introduction. I haven't been introduced in such a great way for a very long time. I'm really pleased to hear something like that from you, and I'm really happy to be here today because I think this is a great initiative. Women should support women in business because we really have a lot of power to contribute to each other, and especially in this region, I think it's extremely important to have this kind of association. So, as Christine said, what I'm doing in Dubai, a part of what I'm doing in Dubai is training virtual assistants, and virtual assistants are specializing in different niches. So I would like to say that before we start, because the common perception is that virtual assistant is a secretary who is working from home. Well, no, that's not the case at all, and I'm going to show you right now how wrong that is. So I prepared for you a special presentation. I didn't want to use the same material which I have used for my other speeches, courses, presentations, workshops. I wanted to do something really different because the concept has been changing, and the virtual assistant industry in UAE is literally changing every month. So what you are going to see today is the most recent and the most up-to-date information about insights, about freelancing opportunities for women, and about success of virtual assistants, women who want to start to work from home. So let's dive in. I'm going to cover during this presentation, first of all, the opportunities which are present in the UAE for virtual assistants. Second, I will introduce you to the role and explain what virtual assistants are doing and how they should position themselves. Also, I will give you a few industry insights locally and internationally so you know where the industry currently stands and what is the trend which is predicted for the nearest years. Also, we will look at the business setup for virtual assistants in the UAE. I will walk you through essential skill set which is currently in demand for virtual assistants, and that is what's needed in order to earn a sufficient amount of money while working from home. And also I will explain to you what are the legal requirements in the UAE, again, because there are a lot of misconceptions that freelancing is illegal or you cannot start working from home. How will that be, taken in terms of visas and permissions? So I'm going to cover all of that for you. And I'm going to share a few personal tips, and I hope that information and the giveaways which I prepared for this session are going to help you to start working from home and earning what you are worth. So virtual assistant is a small online business owner. It's not a secretary, it's not a freelancer, it's not a part-time employee. Virtual assistant is owning a small online business, and virtual assistant operates from home. It's very important to understand that because it's very aligned tightly with your positioning. When you're positioning yourself as a part-time employee, you will be treated accordingly and you will be earning accordingly. And if you are positioning your VA business as a small online business and your activities to provide support services, the collaboration with your clients is going to be taken at a completely different level, and it also opens for you a wide range of upscaling your earning and scaling your business in future. So usually virtual assistants are providing admin, tech, and business support. And those are three completely different areas, let's say, of support that VAs provide. It's also important to understand that. And virtual assistants always work remotely, and they work for local and international clients. So you can basically be staying in Dubai, working for organization or entrepreneur who lives in the US. Even Christine maybe could hire a virtual assistant who lives in Dubai. That's already happening, to be honest. So I thought it's important to define this role, again, because people who hear the term virtual assistant, they usually think that, number one, it's an application, Siri, who is able to perform your commands and guide you through your application. Or again, they think it's an admin assistant or a secretary that works from home. So I thought now when you are looking at this definition right on your screen, you will be able to understand the opportunity, you know, and the full capability of this role. So that leads us to the opportunities which UAE is giving for freelancers as of today. I have collected the most recent and the most validated facts and figures, and that's from the direct communication of people who are the industry giants, let's say, in freelancing, and there are very few at the moment because the concept is still new. So Forbes experts already have identified that 2017 is a year of freelancing, and that's internationally. The industry of remote workers is growing tremendously everywhere. And remote workers, of course, include not only virtual assistants, but graphic designers, web designers, etc., people who can perform remote services. So, for instance, in US, it is expected that 50% of US population will be working remotely in the next 3 to 4 years. And that's a huge transformation. That means that the world is going towards a completely different direction, where people will finally have the flexibility. People will finally be able to choose how many hours they want to work, whom they want to work with, and which services do they want to provide. So I think this is a huge improvement, and a lot of people worldwide were struggling, you know, to make this happen. So we can really salute that, because the trend is also coming to the UAE. Now, Babe.com, which is one of the leading job portals in the UAE, conducted a study in 2017, and what they found is that UAE is currently experiencing a tremendous job rise. This has never happened before in the history of the UAE. 9 out of 10 employees are searching for a new job opportunity. And this is a very alarming figure. That's a worrying figure for the corporate sector, but it also gives us an idea that people are searching for new career opportunities, which means they are not happy in their current working situation. And that's one of the reasons we started this program, because during the research stage, we've identified that women are the most vulnerable segment of the population that cannot build the career of their dream due to various reasons. Now, Time Out Dubai has also written a very interesting article, and I can send you the link to all of those articles if you want, which is confirming that the freelancing trend is beginning to trickle down in the UAE. And the numbers, which I'm going to explain in the next sentences, are really surprising and impressive. Nobody thought that this can happen actually in the UAE, because everyone is tied to an idea that in order to live in UAE, you have to have a job because your visa is tied up, and that's the only way you can stay in the country. So the CEO of LMTD, that's one of the local media and social media and digital media agencies in the UAE, said that hiring costs are rising each year, and that pushes SMEs and entrepreneurs in Dubai seeking for freelance support. So basically, companies are trying to cut the cost, and that's when freelancers are coming to help the companies. That's what makes them in demand, because number one, they save them time. Number two, of course, they save them money, because they don't have to open their visas, they don't have to give the office facilities, medical insurance, and all the other benefits that come along. They basically pay only for the hours that people work, while the work survey have identified that internationally employers pay only for 45% of the working time, because the rest of the time, usually employees are doing non-work related activities. So for employers, it's also a great opportunity to pay only for the work done. That's why they are wising up to the benefits of hiring a remote worker. Now, Nabish, which is the only freelancing platform in the Middle East, in the UAE, Nabish has identified that this year there is an increase of 40% in the numbers of freelancers being hired by UAE companies. This has also never happened before, and this has closely been tied up to the rise of entrepreneurship in the UAE. So entrepreneurs are coming to the UAE to start their business because of the attractive cost, because of the high standard of living, because of the highest disposable income, because of the highest per capita in the world. And when they are setting a business, of course, they are looking for the most cost-saving options, staffing-wise. And that's again when the freelancers are coming and becoming handy for the employers. So at the moment, Nabish is having over 90,000 registered freelancers in the Middle East and North Africa region. That number is growing. And in my conversation with the business development manager of Nabish, who is dealing with freelancers and coaching them on how to earn more in the UAE, he said that this year, and on average, each freelancer he has been dealing with has been earning per month on average 15,000 to 20,000 dirhams. That's a very solid income, given that those people didn't scale their business yet. And that can give you an idea what a great alternative there is right now if you cannot get the career of your dream in the corporate world. And another figure which is really interesting, I was really surprised when I found this information. In 2014, UAE was ranked 5th globally in terms of online hiring spend over Upwork. Upwork is a freelancing platform which is very popular internationally. So it looks like our clients who are sitting here, they are going and hiring freelancers abroad. And that's when we saw that the demand is existing locally plus internationally, because to be honest, we are receiving already requests from international clients to provide our program graduates, for example. And that shows us that the demand is not limited to the UAE, but actually Dubai-based virtual assistants can be in demand by international clients. So the opportunities are limitless, literally. The insights on the virtual assistant industry are also really interesting. It's a tremendous growth of the concept. And I thought I will walk you through the history because everyone thinks that virtual assistant is a very new concept, which is true, but the term and the role is not new at all. In fact, it was born in 1996, and it was born out of a simple conversation of one life coach and Anastasia Bryce, who is the owner of the first virtual assistant agency based in the US. That agency is functioning since 1997 until now, and it has been extremely successful. In the recent research of VirTalent is the research body which is responsible for the VA industry numbers. It has been identified that by 2018, online working industry, including virtual assistants, will be worth $5 billion. Because the demand for online virtual assistants working continues to grow. So of course that gives you an idea about the earning potential, about the timelines, to step up into this very fast moving industry. And also I thought I will show you that Google search trends data will shows that there is a constant growth for virtual assistant services search worldwide, especially in the last years. And also, organizations worldwide are wising up to the benefits of hiring a virtual assistant, because virtual assistants can outperform the standard admin and executive assistant employees, and also because of the wide skill set that virtual assistants can offer in return to their clients. So let's look at the earnings of the virtual assistants, because I know that this is one of the most frequently asked questions by people who are considering, so how much I can earn. So it's important to understand that virtual assistants, as I said, they are a small business owners, which means they decide how they get compensated, with whom they work, and what are their working hours. So usually virtual assistants are charging either per project or per hour or per month, or they are designing a packages depending on their service offerings. So when virtual assistant is getting a potential client, the ideal scenario is for them to have a discovery call, understand if they are a good fit. So you see, it's not like someone is hiring you, you are also deciding if the client is good for you. Then you will be discussing the fees, the offerings, and the terms of your work. So most of the virtual assistants worldwide, again, as identified by the recent survey, are working either during normal 9 to 5 hours, or they work around the school pick and drop hours, because most of the virtual assistants are stay-at-home moms and they have chosen this path to watch their children grow. So normally they would work in the time which is free from raising their children and taking care of their household. And there are some VAs which are basically working whenever you need them. Again, it's all up to you. You can decide when you want to work, at which terms, and how much you want to charge. However, I wanted to provide you with the average rates of the virtual assistants, which are identified as the lowest bar is $10 per hour, and $60 per hour is the highest bar. However, I wanted to show you those figures because I want you to understand how subjective all of those numbers are when it comes to owning a business, because you can see here that less than 1.3% are charging that less than $10 per hour. So that's a very small percentage of current virtual assistants who are charging that low. Usually those are people that work in Asian countries, because currency-wise for them it makes sense. But they are actually creating unhealthy competition in the virtual assistant market, and that creates some, undesired, let's say, consequences for the other virtual assistants. Then the average, as you can see, is between $21 per hour and 30, and between 31 to 40. Sorry for the typo. So the rest are charging from $41 to $50, and then you see there is a small percentage of people who are charging really high. Those are usually the experts in their niche, and they usually have a very solid portfolio. They usually have a very wide and in-demand skill set to offer. And I can say that out of 70 women that I trained in Dubai, only 2 are currently charging more than $70 per hour, and they have put some real hard work there in order to reach that bar. So it's not, a get rich quick path, but it's totally worth it if you're willing to put work and learning. So VAs with a background of executive assistants, social media management, and digital marketing, or those who are able to offer power skill combinations, which means skills from different niches combined in the packages for business support, lead generation, funnels, and such, let's say, business support services, which are currently in demand by the small businesses. So those are profiting the most, because those skills and those backgrounds are the most in demand by the clients who are seeking for virtual assistant services. Now, let's look at the skill set which in-demand virtual assistants have, and that will give you an idea which skills do you need to acquire if you want to become a virtual assistant. Now, this list looks scary because it's a lot of skills, and it's not the end. There is other slide also with the skill set. But I would like to explain that all of those skills are not only required in order to serve your clients. Those skills are required for you to obtain if you are thinking to build a scalable business. Because if you know, okay, not all, but at least half of them or 60% of those skills, it's going to help you incredibly in order to build your own business. And when I was interviewing entrepreneurs who have successfully built a business from zero for my course, all of them said that if they didn't step into this learning curve, if they didn't know how to perform those tasks, they wouldn't be able to be where they are today. Because you can hire a person who will be doing for you Facebook ads or bookkeeping or blogging, but if you don't have that big marketing budget or company budget, which usually happens in the beginning, the only stable thing in your business is your knowledge, your skill set, and your ability to manage your business and run it. So This is extremely useful for all the spheres of your life. In addition to that, the skills which I have outlined, if you are going to learn them, it's going to really raise the bar of your earning, because virtual assistant who is able to earn power skill combination out of this list can easily charge $25 to $30 even in the beginning of the journey. Of course, given that they really know what they do, they really learned it, they tested it, they practiced it, they beta tested it, they collected the feedback of their first clients. If they are able to do that, if you are able to do that, you should not worry about your earnings basically in future. So I'm not going to go through each of the skill sets because I think it's really understandable. I try to be here as detailed as possible. You can probably understand the agenda behind of each of the skills, why they are required, how they can benefit the business support. I just wanted to give you an idea how wide the service offering can be and what you need to learn in order to become a VA. And this is the other list of the skills and services which VAs provide. Again, as scary as it looks, because it's a long list, I understand in total there are at the moment more than 55 in-demand skills that VAs obtain and acquire. But for instance, ladies who are coming to our course, they are managing to learn majority of those skills during the program, which takes them only 40 hours plus, of course, the reading and mastering and practicing. So as scary as it seems, once you step into this learning curve, because each one of those skills is tied to another one. And when you master one skill of those, you can actually build on that and develop few other skills. So I would say it's a combination. And there is nothing impossible, and it's totally doable, it's totally achievable. It just looks scary, let's say. So I would like to walk you through briefly through steps for virtual assistant business setup. And according to the last 6 months, those are the most general and the most important steps each VA should perform before they actually go advertise their service and launch their VA business. First of all, you should have a business plan. You don't have to hold an MBA in order to write a business plan. It can be absolutely in your version, but you should have a plan. You should know what you will be doing, which steps you will take. It's extremely important to know what your road will look like, because when you're going to start working from home, bear in mind that there is no manager to control you. There is no staff who is going to help you. In the beginning, it's going to be you, yourself, and you. So knowing what you're doing, having a clear plan, having in your mind tools which you will use to implement that plan is extremely important. Second, you have to acquire the marketable skills. I have seen many VAs that are coming or not coming to our course, but staying in our community. And when they listen to free resources, they decide that, well, I've been working as a PA, let me go and, work as a virtual assistant. I think I'm ready now. And what happens, they are getting disappointed after a few months because they struggle to get clients. They are earning extremely low. They're saying it's not worth it. There is a lot of competition. That happens because they didn't acquire the in-demand skills, right? You can't do much these days, unfortunately, if you are only going to offer diary management, minutes writing, and answering the emails. That just doesn't work anymore in order to generate full-time income. If you're fine with earning $5 to $10 per hour, which could be the case, you can totally start offering that. If you want to earn more than that and build a business in future, that's not going to work. Believe me, that has been tested and it's just not feasible anymore, not in 2017. Number three, you have to identify your VA niche or specialty. So, for example, during our course, once ladies have learned all the skills, they know which skill they want to use and what's not good for them. So, for example, if they are choosing copywriting, or they are choosing web design, or they are choosing, let's say, funnel strategies, they are going to choose that niche and then continue perfecting their skills and become an expert in that area. So basically, after they identify the niche, they are going to read and consume all the information available online in their niche, because that's the only way to build a profitable business from zero, position yourself as an expert, and increase your earnings with the time. Again, I would like to highlight that VA is not a part-time employment journey. It's a journey of ongoing learning, and if you have a plan to make a living, to make a capital out of this business, you should be ready that learning does not stop even with the course. You should be ready to learn after the course, during your work, during scaling, and you should always be up to date with the industry updates, with the trends, with the tools. Extremely important. Number 4, you have to have your home office set up. Sounds really simple, right? Like, I can work from anywhere. That's why I wanted to become a freelancer. However, not having a dedicated place, trying to work from your sofa or from the beach can actually impact your productivity. So before you launch your business, make sure you have an equipped place where you're able to focus. You have all the equipment ready, because that's very important in the working process of the VA. I'm sorry. And then after you're done with setting up your home office, it's time to identify your client profile. This is another mistake where all the VAs are failing. They want to serve everyone. They want to earn money, and that's why they want to serve local, international clients, business owners, organizations. So what happens? They start pitching everyone. They start offering their services to everyone. So they kind of spread their efforts, and it doesn't bring the desired results, because when you are starting your business from zero and you are alone, the more focused your efforts are, the more equipped you are in terms of what you are doing and whom you are serving, the more are your chances to succeed and actually make your income goals come true. After you have identified your client profile, you ideally should know where you can find them online. And that's the different exercise for you to do. It's not that easy as it seems like. It requires research, work, dedication, but it's totally worth it. It's one of the best things you can do for your VA business. Number 6, you have to define which services are you going to offer to your clients. Again, if you think that you are good in writing, but you didn't test that, you didn't really study that, you didn't learn the skill, please do not offer your services as a book writer, because it's going to harm your reputation. And in a digital world, reputation is the most fragile part of the business. Once someone will put a bad review on your page, it's going to be extremely difficult to cover that with the rest of, good reviews and portfolio. So be extremely difficult before you start marketing your services. Know very well what you're offering, whom you're offering it to, and what your positioning is, how you are positioning yourself. Then you can go ahead and create your profile. That means your online presence, which is not limited to, but usually that is a website, portfolio, LinkedIn profile, and then it will be your Facebook page. And ideally, you should have the work samples ready, and you should have the testimonials collected during the beta testing. After you have created that, you can go ahead and create the gigs. Now here, I would like to stop and say that if you are planning to rely on getting your clients only from freelancing platforms, Fiverr, Upwork, etc., it's not really going to take you far. And that's one of the that's the second reason why virtual assistants are getting disappointed, quitting, and saying, well, it's not what we thought. Because if you are going to stand in the queue on Fiverr and wait till the client decides to pay you $5 an hour, totally not worth your time. It's better to go and work in a corporate world, I think so. So the key to getting those high-paying clients on retainer package, of course, if you have the skill set, is to develop your own network online. There are strategies to do that. It takes time. Your presence takes time. Your positioning will take time. Your reputation will be building with the time. But that is the way to actually, reaching those numbers which you are seeing digital nomads earning online. There is no shortcut. There is no get rich quick here. Because again, if you don't invest anything except your own skills and you are alone, you really should be patient and wait for that, moment of fame explosion to happen when your clients will start flowing to you non-stop. After you have done all that work, I would advise you to get the necessary license and permits from the UAE legal authorities. I will take you to the different slides where I will explain how and where to do that. And after you have done that, you have to define and write your marketing strategy. So when you was writing your business plan, that was one thing, but now you will have to define how you are going to market your services, whom to, how you are going to present yourself, and how you're going to convince them to work with you, and what will be your next step to put them on a retainer package. So it's not one-time project, but they actually want to work with you continuously. And then if you have done all of that successfully, you should be ready to launch your VA business. Now, before you are launching your business, apart from the business setup steps, there is some work which needs to be done internally, I would say. You need to define few things within yourself. That has a lot to do with the mindset transformation. If you are coming to the digital world and you're planning to start your own small business, no matter what that would be, an empire or a virtual assistant services, you won't do much if you don't transform your mindset. And I know that Christine probably is an expert in this area, and she can give you a lot of tips. But what I'll say right now is that fear of failure, lack of confidence is in general a women thing. Usually women are the ones who are always doubting themselves. They're thinking like, am I good enough to do that? Is it really something I can go ahead and achieve? Is it really, you know, feasible to achieve 6 figures within 1 year? Is it really true? So all of those doubts, they will do nothing good except putting barriers on your way. So if you didn't work on your mindset and didn't crush your business fears, it's going to show in everything, in your communication, in your posts, in your materials, communication with the client. You are just going to ruin all the work which you have done skills-wise, marketing-wise, business-wise. So my advice to you, work on your mindset, and that should be a continuous work. It's not one-time exercise, it's ongoing process. After you have done that, you can define your working schedule. As I said, virtual assistants are working at their own terms. So please make sure your clients know which hours you are available, how you can be contacted, and what's your delivery timeline. After that, you should be able to define your offer. Knowing how to package your offering, how to make it attractive is going to help a lot in order to attract your clients and retain them. So after you have defined your offer, again, narrow down your client audience. Don't think that you will be serving everyone, because you will end up serving no one. That's proven, trust me. Don't do the mistake of others. If you want to serve only Dubai entrepreneurs, that's a great niche. Identify it, put it on your website. So when people visit your website, they feel you are speaking to them. That will increase your chances to be hired. Then you should go ahead and identify which pain points of your clients you can solve. Knowing that you can solve a particular problem which your client is facing is going to help you, because that makes your proposal, your pitch, extremely attractive and basically irresistible. Because people feel you know what you're speaking about. Immediately the trigger works that you are an expert, you have the expertise, and that will lead them to, you know, signing up that contract and maybe working with you in future. After that, you should define your personal business and financial goals. You should know how much you want to achieve out of that business. If you don't know your figures, if you don't know how much money you want to get out of there, it's going to be all confusing. It's going to put you in the chaos. Writing down what you want to achieve after 3 months, after 6 months, after 9 months, after 1 year, 2 years, etc., is going to help you a lot. And that will also serve you as a reminder, as a motivator, and the reason why you have started that business. I actually give an exercise to my students during the class to write down their why, like the reason why they are starting this business. Stick it as a note next to their computer or home office, and look at it every day. They are losing motivation or their productivity is lower. When you will remember why you started, why it's important, you are going to perform better, faster. Everything is going to be just easier, trust me. After that, you should define your message to the audience. Like, what's the mission of your business? What you're trying to contribute to by your VA services? Then you have to define your niche, as I said, one of the most important things. And when you will identify those two elements, you will easily determine your domain name and elevator pitch. Knowing your elevator pitch by heart is a must. My students do it 3 times during the program, in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. We are having 3 versions. They are refining it. It's changing after each skill they learn, because if they thought in the beginning they want to do copywriting, after learning copywriting module, they're like, oh, I'm not sure I really want to offer copywriting again, you know. So it's going to change with the time. That's a normal process. Give yourself enough time to understand which niche you want to take, which service you want to provide. It's fine if with the time it's going to be changing, refining, adding. It's a normal process. Design your business formula. Business formula means knowing, again, whom you are serving, which pain points you are going to solve, and how you can prove that you can solve those immediate pain points with your existing skill set and capabilities. After you have done all of that, you can go ahead, show up online, and test the water just by communicating with people online. I usually advise my students to go to big Facebook groups. In the beginning, just hear people, just read what they are writing, see how they are communicating, try to understand the pattern, understand the strategy, adopt that, and then actively contribute. First, don't focus on transaction-based agenda, because people can easily feel it. Don't pitch. Just try to help them, genuinely help them, because with each skill you are going to learn, you will have knowledge to share. Because you can consume a lot of information, but at some point, when you reach a certain limit, you have to actually give back. So interacting in those groups is a great way to give back, build your network, and establish your positioning, because those people, they will refer you in future to people that they may know who may need your services. That's a difficult strategic approach, but it's totally working. Then, the legal requirements in the UAE. If someone told you that freelancing is illegal, please do not listen to them, because we have verified with the local authorities, freelancing is totally permitted. Moreover, it's supported by the government. As long as you obtain the required permits and approvals, you're all good to go. The easiest path to become a freelancer is to apply for a freelancing work permit and residence visa. That is only if you're not sponsored by your spouse or father. And there are currently more than 52 free zones in the UAE which are offering freelancing permits. The prices are really different. Some free zones in Abu Dhabi, 2454, they are offering freelancing visa starting from 1,250 dirhams for 6 months. So it's not really expensive as it used to be before. It's very affordable. If you're not sponsored by your spouse or your father, you can go for that. I listed here a few of the free zones which are the most popular for obtaining freelancing visa. If you are considering this in future, maybe you can explore that. And you have to understand and mention in the application that your profession is related to the activity of the free zone. That's a very important element. Make sure you do your research before applying. So the options for setting up a VA business are as follows. First of all, husband visa. In that case, you will need to obtain an NOC from the legal authority which issues your husband's visa. So the best way would be calling the HR of your father's company and asking them where can you get a no objection certificate for freelancing. Then the other option is NOC from your employer. That's if you're employed and you want to do virtual assistance part-time. They have to issue an NOC that they don't mind you working part-time as a freelancer. That's also possible and legal, totally legal. Then you can obtain a freelancing visa from UAE free zones, as I said, or you can establish a small business or a startup. So a lot of students from my course, they are creating alliances, like a group which finished the course in April, end of April. 2 of them, they are already working together as a virtual assistant duo. So they are going to obtain a startup license and they are actually going to offer their services as an agency, which is a great move. I'm doing everything to support them. I'm super proud of them. Like within 1 week, they have started working. That's like super fast, great work. Then you can also work remotely only with international clients. I have to say that this is not really legal, because if you didn't obtain the permits, any transactions would become illegal in the UAE. However, some people still do that. And I would like to mention this option just in case you will decide to do that without obtaining permits. Make sure you don't work with local clients. Make sure you work only with international clients. Otherwise, it can be really tough in here if you're working without permits. Now, I would like at the end of my presentation to tell you that VA is not option which suits everyone. Working from home sounds extremely attractive. It's a really, dreamy opportunity. But I want to explain that entrepreneurship in general is tough. It's lonely, it's difficult, it requires tons of learning. It has a lot of disappointment and failure stages. And if you are morally not prepared for that, it's not a good option for you. Also, it's not a good option for you if you want to get employment. If you want to work part-time, it's not a good option for you. Because if you don't adopt entrepreneurial mindset, if you don't have that power, to show up online, become visible, talk to strangers, communicate with people whom you don't know, it's just not going to last long, unfortunately. The VA option is for people who are ready to take the leap and build their own business, first of all. It's an option for people who are ready to learn, continue learning and mastering, plus implementing and executing. Because if you learn and read, that's all good. But if you don't take the giveaways, if you don't implement them, doesn't work in this business. Also, you should be ready inside and financially to become an entrepreneur. What I mean by being ready financially. Some of my students, they start working within few weeks. Some of them start working during the course. Some of them start working in few months. Each story is different, each success is different, and each leap is different. There is a lot to do with luck, but more to do with hard work. And that's what entrepreneurship is about. So the desire and readiness to become an entrepreneur is a must if you want to become a virtual assistant. Then you should be ready to market your services to people whom you don't know. You should be not afraid to push. Because in this digital world, if you are going to be shy, there are going to be a few people who will jump ahead of you and get that project, which could be, an ideal client which was waiting for you. So if you are a shy person and you are not ready to work on that, it's also not a good option for you. Again, you can go and register on freelancing platforms, but bear in mind that you will split your earnings and you are not going to get out of that, frame, which usually is perceived by people who go to freelancing platforms. Also, you should be ready to transform your mindset. As employees or as housewives, you have a certain mindset. That's normal, and everyone is passing different stages of their mindset in life. Now, entrepreneurs, online business owners, they have totally different mindset. It's more oriented on giving value and helping people rather than, pure transaction-based business. It's a totally different world. So if you're not ready to transform your mindset, go out of your comfort zone, and adopt new habits, let's say, try new things, test new things, unfortunately, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to make it up in this digital world. So that was the list of my personal tips. And I think that's the best thing I could say to the beginners right now. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. Also, I have shared with Christine the links to my free giveaways for the attendees of this webinar. Christine is going to share it with you and explain what's in there for you. I hope I managed to convey some useful information, and I hope this is going to help you to start working from home. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Medina. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful presentation. And I am sure that all the ladies that have seen this will definitely benefit from it and also share it out with others, friends and family, and see the great value that you have provided for us today at Women Supporting Women in Business. Thank you again so much.
It was really my pleasure. Thank you for inviting.
Oh, absolutely. And can you also just mention again for those that are going to be listening to the recording how they can access you online
Oh, yes. So you see, that's the best point. I'm always forgetting to do that. And my virtual assistants, they always tell me, like, you are teaching people how to market themselves, and you are always forgetting to put your contact information. Well, that's there. Well, I think the best way to find me is to join our online community, because I'm daily contributing content there. That's Dubai Virtual Assistant community, and that's a closed Facebook group. Otherwise, they can go to the website of my organization, which is www.riseassist.net. I'm going to type it now in the chat so people can see it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
And I'm easily accessible on Facebook. Like, it's the most frequently used, I can say, platform for me.
Okay, all right, wonderful. Okay, ladies, well, at this time, if you have any questions at all, if you'd like to put any questions in the chat for Medina to respond to at this time, and if we don't have any questions that come up within the next couple of seconds or so, then I'm going to conclude at this time and allow you to enjoy the rest of your evening there.
Thank you.
And again, I want to thank you who have attended and encourage you again to share out the information that you've received today. I will be making this broadcast available also to our group. I will be posting it because I understand that there's a possibility that there are other women who tried to get in the broadcast today in the webinar and they were not able to connect. And so for those who did not have an opportunity to connect today, I'm going to make it available at our meetup group on our special page there for the women that are part of the group. So I will put it on the bulletin board as well. So, and it will also be, like I told Medina earlier, it will also be on a bulletin board also for women supporting women in business here in the States as well. So thank you so much, Medina. I appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for inviting again, Christine. And you can definitely share the giveaways with all the members of your group. It will be my pleasure. So the ebook, which I'm launching on 19th, I'm going to give away the first 1,500 copies for free. So that's a long list, and they can absolutely register from now and you know, be in the waiting list to receive the book. I'll be more than happy to share it with them and welcome all of your group members.
All right, that is wonderful. Thank you again, and I will share that out as well so that the women that are part of Women Supporting Women can be benefited by that as well. So again, thank you for all that you have done today and all that you have shared with us in terms of the book as well. So with that, I'm going to say good night to everyone. Let me just double check and make sure there's no questions on the chat. Okay, all right. So with that, thank you again for joining and have a wonderful evening. And I will look forward again to our next webinar meetup.
Absolutely. Same here, same here. Thank you, Christine. Have a good afternoon over there. And I hope it's not our last webinar. I will be waiting for your webinar now to our group. And I hope this collaboration continues. Thank you for inviting once again. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Medina. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.